Naval's channel. We are back with another topic. How to see how religious the person is in astrology. That how much the person believes in spirituality or religion, and how much the person is uh, pessimistic, or how much the person is going to be optimistic. Right? Those questions. Just look at the placement of Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet which talks about religion, learning, higher philosophy, spirituality. Ketu also talks about spirituality specifically, but Jupiter is a part of it. Jupiter is more towards religion, religious activities, right? Being a guru, being being a someone, being a preacher, being a someone who goes to temples or who goes to church, right? Look at the placement of Jupiter. How good or how bad the Jupiter is placed. In the previous charts I have analyzed personally, and what I've read from the books, is the Jupiter when it's debilitated, when it's in the sign of Capricorn, somehow or the another, the person is not very religiously inclined. It does not mean they are some bad person, or they do bad activities, they are not optimistic. No, that does not mean that. Don't get me wrong. Religious means the person who is more philosophical, who likes to talk about dharma, who likes to talk about religious activities, talks about like social servicings also sometimes. Right, social service is more with Ketu, but yeah, Jupiter also talks about it. But you need to look at the Ketu to look at the social service as well. Uh, so if Jupiter is placed in, let's say, Kendra, in first house, fourth house, seventh house, 10th house, you can say, and the Jupiter is placed in its friendly planet sign or in its own sign, then it's well and good. Or if Jupiter is exalted in the sign of Cancer, then you can say that the person is highly religious. Now, in Kundli, in astrology, 5th and 9th house talks about religion as well. 5th house talk about your creativity skills, your basic learning skills, and 9th house talks about your higher learning, higher education, higher philosophy, religion as well. Look at the placement of Jupiter. If Jupiter is placed in 5th or 9th house, then it's a sure shot, because from 9th house, Jupiter aspects 5 places from itself, right? Jupiter aspects 5, 7 and 9 places from itself. So from 9th house, it aspects the first house. Jupiter is aspecting your Lagna, and if Jupiter is not debilitated, if it's placed in a friendly sign, or if it's in own sign or exalted, that will gonna make you more spiritual, more religious person. Same thing goes with 5th house. Jupiter 9th aspect will go on the Lagna, which will make you again religious. And if Jupiter is placed in 1st house or 7th house, 1-7 axis, that is a highly possibility that the person is going to be more religious. Now coming to spirituality, look at the sign of Ketu, placement of Ketu as well. Ketu placed in 12th house. 12th house is the house of moksha. 12th house, as I mentioned in the previous videos, 12th house is the house of liberation, house of moksha, house of living into a foreign place. And if Ketu is a planet which is again very spiritual planet. I explained that in my previous series. If you don't know what Ketu means, go back and look at my previous videos where I talked about Rahu and Ketu. Ketu is a planet which has no head, it's just the body. It does not eat. It does not need materialistic things to stay comfortable or satisfy itself. So when Ketu is placed in 12th house, it talks about someone who is a very spiritual person, right? So look at the placement of Ketu for spirituality. If it's connected with the spiritual houses or those moksha given houses, then you can talk about the person, what are the inclination of the person is from spirituality perspective. from religious perspective, dominate with Jupiter. Okay, so this was my analysis on how to see the religious inclination of a person in astrology. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them down below, and do subscribe or like my channel if you want to stay updated on the new videos. Thanks for watching.